When you go on the internet, what is the first thing you think of? Maybe it's catching up on social media, or maybe it's watching a funny video on YouTube. But have you ever considered how much personal information you put out there every time you go on Instagram or search for something on Google?
Let's ask the 500 million people that are on Facebook. How concerned are they about their privacy? Most of them really don't care.
The birth of the internet was only 34 years ago. However, it has developed faster than anyone could have predicted. The internet has provided us with many advantages such as GPS, global connectivity, and access to a well of information. However, it has developed in a way that could put all of our personal information at risk. Computer scientists have developed algorithms within search engines in order to appeal to their users' preferences. Have you ever noticed when you go online shopping for shoes and the next ad you see is a coupon? Or if you look up the score for a game, the next ad is for tickets? Let's hear from one of our victims.
It was early April, and I had been looking for a prom dress for a few weeks online, and it was coming up soon, so I had to make a decision. I found a dress I really liked, and I was practically just waiting to process my order. During the day, I was on Instagram when an ad actually came up for a nearly identical dress for a significantly lower price. At the time, I didn't question why this ad was so specific to what I was looking for. But I was so grateful because this dress was not only convenient, but also absolutely beautiful. And I was really desperate to find a dress in my budget.
Would this be considered an invasion of privacy if the consequences are positive? Many argue that despite these positive outcomes, negative ones may come up as well.
That's right. A report in the New York Times says Target's sophisticated computers are able to guess when a woman shopper is pregnant based on 25 items that pregnant women buy. Among them, vitamins, zinc and magnesium supplements, and cocoa butter lotion. Toss in extra large clothing or a rocking chair, and the store decides you are pregnant and starts targeting you with baby coupons. But the New York Times says an irate father asked a Target manager why his teenage daughter was receiving baby coupons in the mail. Is this legal? Yes.
Yes.
Restaurant apps such as Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, McDonald's, and Dunkin' Donuts track where you are at all times, automatically changing the location to the nearest one. Journalists from websites such as TheVerge.com think this is an invasion because these apps don't ask users if they can use their location and update by themselves. Others think this can be helpful if you're having a craving for a certain restaurant, and that this is an effective way to promote the restaurant. While it is much more convenient to be able to pick up your Chipotle order closest to you, some people argue that this is an invasion of privacy or against the law for an app to track your location without your consent. However, should an app require your consent every time you open it? Or should it tell the user upfront that it will be tracking the user at all times the first time it asks? In some cases, however, an app's functionality depends on knowing the user's location at all times. For example, transportation apps such as Uber or Lyft require the user's location to be able to locate and send a driver to their user as quickly as possible. If the app were to request consent from the user every time they needed a car, it would be somewhat of a hassle for their user, making the service less efficient in general. Uber and Lyft are able to tell you what time your driver will be arriving to pick you up and what time you will be arriving at your desired location. This technology couldn't be achieved without using precise satellite location. In a way, the location setting is essential for Uber and Lyft because both show you the direct route the driver will be taking, and this keeps the company aware of the driver's location when a passenger is in the car, ensuring safety of some type. Yet it's useful to consider why these apps have to constantly track your location when you're not using the app. Some argue that the user should be responsible to turn off the location service and the privacy settings. Though many internet users argue that tracking your location is an invasion of privacy, what if the user wants their location to be available on the internet, or more specifically, social media? When you download any social media app, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or Facebook, the first thing it will ask you is to enable location services. Is this a bad thing, though? This past year, Snapchat came out with the geolocation services, where users can post location-specific filters on their story, allowing their friends and the app to see where they are. Snapchat is a very popular social media platform. Approximately 75% of teens in America use Snapchat. This app is well known for using geofilters, which show a user's location by town or county. Snapchat has fun geotags for cities, sports games, even different high schools, which people often post as to comply with the new trend. Geofilters are composed of creative designs and link a group of people together by a huge community story. Some believe these geofilters can be a great tool for marketing. Some events are promoted through the use of geofilters, and this can help event players reach a wide audience. Some believe that Snapchat's geolocation has grown increasingly dangerous, as the Snapchat Map feature has come to allow mutual users to see the precise location of their friends. Users can see the exact street address, and sometimes even the location of an individual inside a building. Though there is an option for opting for the ghost mode on Snapchat, the app itself still tracks where you are, even if your friends cannot see.
Frederick Lane is an attorney and the author of American Privacy.
Even when you think you have some amount of privacy on a page, you may not.
All it takes is one person making a copy of what you've posted, and it's out in the wild, and you no longer have that control. We're giving it up. We're putting it out into the world.
Seeing how humans are very susceptible to outside influences, search engines such as Google, Bing, and Yahoo take location information from social media and use it to produce advertisements for places near you. The internet developments in the past year have led many people to believe that the internet is a hazard to individual privacy.
When we talk about a right to privacy, what we're really talking about is the right to control information we consider to be private.
Critics from the National Public Radio argue that internet privacy infringes upon our rights given by the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment says that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. President and Congress can create laws that support or take away from our online privacy. Congress has voted to repeal internet privacy protections that were approved in the final days of Obama's administration. This law would have required internet providers to request permission before collecting and sharing data about web browsing history, app usage, and geolocation. While there are useful and convenient aspects to search engine algorithms, location services, and access to information, it's important to be aware of where your information could potentially be going. The more we develop technology, the more defined search algorithms and location services become. A number of states, such as California, have begun to realize the impact of internet privacy on their constituents and have confronted the issue by passing laws that grant users control over an insight into the spread of their personal online information. By passing the Consumer Privacy Act, California has paved the way for other states to ensure their citizens' privacy online. As these developments appear, they will have an increasingly important role in our lifestyle.